The quest for the red dragon, Wizzpop 3. When they had climbed all the way out of the gorge and were back on the topmost of the bridges, Bomhollio was proper hungry, so they made their way back to the cafe at the station. There they sat, outside in the sun, and they ate apple pie, Welsh cakes, chocolate sponge, some ginger biscuit, fudge, banana bread, flapjacks, and a nice healthy salad. Sparrows, blue tits, and chaffinches flocked around Bomhollio's chair, feasting off the mountain of crumbs that he dropped. "How will we get to Pumlumom?" Bomhollio asked after he washed down the last ginger biscuit with a nice cup of tea. No sugar. He didn't want to get fat or upset his tummy. "I could fly," Wings said, "if I knew exactly where it was." "So could Olivia Bolivia, I suppose," Bomhollio said. "Exactly, yes," Olivia Bolivia said. "But I'm afraid I can't carry you this time," Wings told Bomhollio. "I'm too tired, and you've eaten too much, so you must be very heavy." "I could stay here," Bomhollio offered, scanning the menu for a nice fried breakfast with baked beans and chips. "We stick together," Olivia Bolivia decided, wiping her mouth with a paper napkin and picking up her special dragon-catching crook. "We'll walk." And straight away, with no further ado, she was heading back to the road. Although she wasn't very tall, Olivia Bolivia was every inch a leader. But, Wings fluttered and flapped, wanting to say that they weren't sure exactly where to go or how far away Pumlumom was, and that it would probably be dark before they got there. But Olivia Bolivia was already at the road, where a tractor and trailer had drawn up beside her, and she was talking to the driver, a woman who wore a tall black hat that stuck out of the roof of the tractor's cab. "My goodness, that was a very long sentence," Bomhollio said admiringly. But Wings was still faffing, and she flew across to join Olivia Bolivia. Taking a couple of minutes just to stock up on food supplies for the journey from the shop in the cafe, Bomhollio stuffed everything in his bag and followed the others. When he reached his two friends at the tractor, the driver was talking, and Olivia Bolivia was smiling. Wings still looked a little flustered, however. "Nest is my name, oh yes," the tractor driver said, with a lovely lilting voice that made Bomhollio think of strawberries. "I drive the tractor and trailer all over Wales all through the summer," Nest continued, "when the roads are busy with visitors. Oh yes, I hold up the traffic for ages and ages. I'm what they call a tourist attraction, see?" Olivia Bolivia imagined Nest holding up lots of cars, and she barely stifled a laugh behind her hands. "You've got very nice clothes," Wings told Nest. "Oh, yes," Nest said. "Traditional Welsh costume, this is." Under the very tall black hat, like a chimney that stuck out of the roof of the tractor's cab, Nest wore a lacy white cap. She had on a black dress of heavy material that came all the way down to her ankles. Over that she wore a long white apron, and above her shoulders was a brightly patterned red shawl. "My husband Dilwyn used to drive the tractors," Nest explained, "and I used to sit with my spinning wheel and spin wool at pretty locations all over Wales, mostly near nice little tea rooms. Then, when Dilwyn had finished holding up the traffic, he would pick me up and we'd go home for dinner." "What did you eat?" Bomhollio asked, always interested in things like that. Actually, only interested in that exact thing, food. "Well, usually Welsh rarebit, lava bread, and a slice of bara brith," Nest told him. "You ate a Welsh rabbit?" Bomhollio asked, shocked. "Rarebit," Nest corrected him. "It's like cheese on toast, but nicer." "Why doesn't your husband Dilwyn drive the tractor any more?" Olivia Bolivia asked. "Budget cuts, isn't it?" Nest said. "You cut a budgie?" Bomhollio asked, his eyebrows shooting up his forehead, over the top of his head, and back down under his ears, returning to sit quivering on his face above his wide-open eyes. "Budget cuts," Nest corrected. "It's like money, only there's not enough of it to go round." A lesser-spotted woodpecker flew down from the trees and landed on top of Nest's tall black hat, but she didn't notice. Olivia Bolivia stifled another laugh. She liked Nest. "There wasn't enough money to pay your husband to drive the tractor to hold up all the tourists," Wings checked. "That's right. So now he works on a railway over there," Nest said, pointing towards the station. They all looked in that direction, even the black and white woodpecker with the red cap. "Does Dilwyn have bright yellow socks?" Olivia Bolivia asked. "Why, yes, he does," Nest said, surprised. "He hasn't changed them for weeks. But how did you know?" Olivia Bolivia knows everything, Bomhollio said to Nest. We're superheroes and she's our leader. Well, well, Nest said. It's lovely. With its beak, the woodpecker tapped out a rhythm on top of Nest's tall black hat. Tappity, tappity, tap, tap, tap. But the tractor driver still didn't notice. Olivia Bolivia smiled broadly. Who does the spinning now you're driving the tractor? Wings wondered. The leader of the county council has put up cardboard cutouts of little Welsh ladies spinning all over the place, Nest said disgustedly. It's not right, not right at all. Selling the poor tourists short, isn't it? They used to love taking photos and their little video films of me spinning or winding my big balls of wool. You knitted Dilwyn's jersey, Olivia Bolivia just knew. Well, goodness gracious me, you're as sharp as a lemon, Nest said admiringly. Proper detective you are, like Hercules Porridge or that Shirley homing pigeon. Hercule Poirot, Wings supplied, and Sherlock Holmes? Them's the boyos, Nest said. Well done. We need to get to Pumlumom, Olivia Bolivia said. We're on a top secret mission. Oh, going to see us right goch, are you? Nest asked. How did you know? It was Olivia Bolivia's turn to be surprised. Well, you're not the only ones who know a thing or three, Nest said, and winked at Olivia Bolivia. But Goch also does some work with the tourists, see? Breathing a bit of fire, frightens the life out of them. Olivia Bolivia laughed so hard she had to lean on her crook to keep from falling down. I'm not sure I understand the tourist industry in Wales, Wings said, shaking her head. What's lava bread and barra brith? Bomhollio asked, suddenly hungry again. Well, lava bread is made with seaweed, Nest said. Ugh, Bomhollio winced. And barra brith is fruitcake. Oh, yummy. Made with cold tea. I've lost my appetite, Bomhollio said. Didafto you are, Nest sniffed. Barra brith is delicious. Anyway, hop in the trailer, all of you, and I'll take you to Pumlumom. Boom, boom, Dyna-Mighties, Olivia Bolivia boomed, leading the way, because she was the leader. Oh, thank you so much, Wings said to Nest. I was too tired to fly and a bit too full of food, to be honest. It'll be a slow ride, mind. It'll be a slow ride, mind, Nest said. There's a lot of cars on the road to hold up today. Exactly, yes, Olivia Bolivia said, seating herself on a bale of hay in the trailer. Bomhollio and Wings joined her. And they were off, with the tractor chuffing out clouds of white smoke and Nest singing at the top of her voice what sounded like a song about a saucepan. Scared by the movement and the singing, the woodpecker flew off. Chicken, shouted Bomhollio. No, no, Wings scolded him, that wasn't a chicken. But Bomhollio was already asleep on a bale of hay with his hands clasped over his bulging tummy. He began to snore. Watch out, Goch. We're on your tail, Olivia Bolivia muttered to herself, just before she laid her head on Wings' lap, and she too fell asleep. It had been a big day already, but the Dyna-Mighties would need to rest and summon all their superpowers for the next stage of their adventure, when they would finally face the Red Dragon. Nest dropped the tremendous threesome off in the car park at the beginning of the walk up Pumlumom Bower. A convoy of cars that had been stuck behind them finally got the chance to overtake the tractor and trailer. Their drivers honked their horns and shook their fists at Nest. She waved back cheerily, grinning from ear to ear. Croeso, she called. It means you're welcome, Nest translated for Olivia Bolivia. Thank you very much for the lift, Olivia Bolivia said, because she was a very well brought-up superhero, as polite as they come. Croeso, Nest said. It's a long walk up to the top of the mountain. Oh, my word, yes. It'll take you a couple of hours at least. Then we'd better get going, Olivia Bolivia said. I imagine it would be dangerous on the mountain when it gets dark. Even in the daylight, Wings said, there's the not-so-small danger of a fire-breathing dragon. I must be off now, Nest told Olivia Bolivia. Almost time to pick up Dilwyn from work, it is. And then trundle off home for our supper. Oh, yes, Tatu's pop tea tonight, roast potatoes. I could come with you, Bomhollio offered, to help with supper. I know your sort of help, Nest said. Oh, Bomhollio sighed, disappointed. Pop, look, Nest shouted, the very best of luck with your quest. And she was off, popping the tractor into gear, turning around and making her unhurried way back towards Devil's Bridge. Straight away a line of cars formed impatiently behind the trailer. Nest gave everyone a final cheery wave. Boom, boom, Dyna-Mighties, Olivia Bolivia boomed, and she headed for the gate to the path up the mountain. I missed Nest, Bomhollio said, looking up at the top of the mountain in the far, far distance, and I missed the tractor and trailer. I miss my nice comfy hay. Come on, Wings said, following their small but powerful leader, and do try to keep up. Bomhollio sighed, unwrapped a peanut energy bar, took a massive bite, and shuffled after Olivia Bolivia and Wings. Making their plodding way uphill, they followed a steep track. On their right, a stream burbled and gurgled and splashed. A red kite hovered above them, riding the gentle breeze. It seemed to be keeping an eye on them. After a mile or so, they passed the ruin of an old lead mine. Olivia Bolivia imagined the old mine builders would be the perfect lair for a red dragon, so the Dyna-Mighties stopped to check it out. Bravely, Bomhollio did his check-in from behind Wings. Although there was nothing hiding in the mining buildings, in places the ground was scorched black. We're getting close, Olivia Bolivia decided. Bomhollio is very close to me, Wings said. A little further on, they left the track and followed the sign towards the summit of Pumlumom Bower. The sun shone down, and when they took a moment to look back the way they had come, the view of the grass-covered mountains was stunning. Not many trees left, though, Wings said sadly. The path they were following now ran through some very boggy land, carpeted in grass and moss. They saw butterflies and beetles, and a few skylarks took to the air and trilled their joyful song. The red kite still drifted along with the Dyna-Mighties, its pale yellow eye tracking their progress. After about half an hour more of hard walking, Wings spoke again, breaking their silence. You know, she said, I think we should have brought some water to drink. Yes, of course, Olivia Bolivia said, exactly. Wings licked her dry lips. Olivia Bolivia wondered what to do. Bomhollio, who had been lagging 20 yards behind the others, finally caught up. Would anyone like a drink of water? He asked, producing a large bottle from his bag. Oh, yes, please, Wings said, and took the bottle. Where did you get this? Olivia Bolivia asked when it was her turn to drink. They filled it up for me at the station cafe, Bomhollio said. You, Wings said, are a real superhero. Precisely, yes, Olivia Bolivia said. Oh, Bomhollio said, flushing pink with pride. Don't go on. Now, don't get all excited and Wizzpop, Wings warned sternly. No, Olivia Bolivia said. You hold your trump in for when we meet at Drygoch. Up on the grassy slopes of Pumlumom they went, on and on and on. Effortlessly the kite passed over them, flew on ahead, and then disappeared from sight. Underfoot the ground was less boggy and rockier now. They climbed over a stile to cross a fence, and suddenly there they were at the summit of Pumlumom Bower. It was marked by a huge pile of rocks that Wing told them was called a cairn. Cairn, Bomhollio tried, but he didn't like the taste of the word. Too rocky. But not like sugary seaside rock that came in pink sticks with writing all the way through them. That was good. Which, now he came to think of it, they had completely forgotten to eat when they were in Aberystwyth. Remembering this forgetting made Bomhollio unhappy, and his stomach rumbled sadly.